Hey, what's up, guys? It's Phil Trigger here, and I got a new segment for you. I call it the Super Clan Breakdown. Unless you ever had effects, I'd make the breakdown go like breakdown, blah 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 blah. Okay, anyways, so let's get on to the point. This breakdown is going to explain every clan in depth as much as possible, and we'll explore every single option and all that. So let's start at the basics. Now, today we're going to review Angel Feathers, and this is the first episode. So, yeah. Anyways. Angel Feathers, a clan of many options. Now, at face value, Angel Feathers look like a clan that just heals and stays defensive. While that is true, that is not the total picture. Angel Feathers, when you get down to the nitty gritty, they're a very strong toolbox deck. They're Yu-Gi-Oh reference here. They're kind of the gladiator beast of Vanguard. Here's why. They utilize their damage. The damage zone essentially becomes a second deck, just like how Grand Blues use the drop zone as their second deck. They use it more effectively than any other clan that can use a sub deck, in a sense. So they can use the damage zone very effectively. They can clean it out and just do wacky stuff with it. The cards that make this clan very effective are these four cards. And also Ergodia, which I don't have because I refuse to have that bad card. Anyways, so first off, they have a reusable heal trigger. You can use it as the starter. And basically, when it boosts anything, it gives another +3, so it's a 6k booster, very decent booster, and then it goes back to the deck. So it has essentially it has an infinite number of heal triggers, because you can also grab them from the damage zone, unlike OTTs, which is ridiculous. So they have a very good defensive option. Running the deck without heal triggers is really stupid. Running 4 heal triggers is the best because you can stay, defensive and you don't have to worry so much about keeping yourself at high damage. Then they have the Naciel series, which are these 2 cards plus the stand trigger, which I will pull out right meow if I can find it. Oh my god, where are you? Where are you? My viewers are probably like, what, WTF? Okay, there it is. Ha! Okay. And they're each a grade 0, grade 1, and grade 2. They don't have a grade 3. So that'd be enough. Yeah, it sucks. So, Naciels have a very simple objective. You do something, and then you can swap a card from your damage to your hand, and yeah. So these are the cards that make the deck the most toolboxy. They swap out things, and they give the deck the edge over every other deck that can do their own thing. So, let's start off with the stand trigger. Very simple. You can call it to the board, soul charge it, and then you can do the swap. Then we have the grade 1, which is very awkward to use, but you get used to it. Basically, when it's carded to the guardian circle, so you have to guard with it, then you can do the swap. And now the easiest to use is the grade 2, which is very straightforward and simple. When you call it, you swap. Simple as that. Now, these cards are 1-for-1s, except for this is an egg one. But they all do essentially the same thing, but for different grade levels. None of them work if they're called as a Vanguard. They have to be the rear guards, which is meh, in my opinion. They should make them as Vanguards, but I can see why. Anyways, these cards are what make the deck toolboxy, and it's what gives the deck so much flexibility and adaptability. There we go. Big word, fail trigger. Adaptability. Ah, yay, I got it. Okay. And now for the grade 3s, we have the invisible Ergodia, Ratmeow, and Kyriel. Now, Kyriel is my personal favorite because 1, look at her, she's freaking sexy, and 2, she's got a saw, and 3, she's really broken. Her skill is simple. You can limit break with her, which means she gains a 5,000 boost when you have 4 damage or more, which is very simple with this deck. And then, when she's called to the rear guard, you get a free +1, which means you call her to the Vanguard. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Anyways, you call her to the Vanguard and you get a free +1. How? Basically, you fish out a card from your damage, call it to the board, and then you pick a card from the top of your deck, and then that becomes your damage. It's very good. Oh my god. You can set up for it in earlier terms, like putting a very powerful grade 3 and then calling it out with Kyriel, so it doesn't stick there, and you have more options to basically put in your little bank, or second deck, and then you can utilize it later. And then you have Ergodio, which will symbolize by me. Haha. Thumbs up for Spectral Duke Dragon Slaves. Anyways, Ergodia is very simple. She's part of a ride chain, and when you have the grade 2 under her in her soul, she gains another 1,000, so she becomes an 11 Vanguard, which is very solid, very good. But her effect is what kills me. Her skill is when no, it's not Limit Break, is it? Basically, whenever you hit a Vanguard, no, it's not Limit Break. It's a Persona Blast. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, brain fart. Basically, when you hit the Vanguard, which is pretty unlikely, you ditch a copy of her, which is called a Persona Blast. You ditch a copy, and then you counterblast a certain amount. For her, it's 2. Then you pick a damage from your damage zone and you heal it. So the skill is fairly easy to use. Essentially, it's just discarding 1 and counterblast 1 because you'll heal the card that you flip over. It's another strategic option. But I feel like she's not the best simply because, yeah, I mean, you need copies of her. You need the ride chain to make her an effective 11k. And you also need to run the draw triggers, which is no issue, but I still feel like Ergodio is lacking simply because her ride chain is very trashy. It's terrible. When you ride the grade 1 over the grade 0, you can check the top 7 cards, and that's fine. For the grade 2 or 3, which is pretty good, you only grab 1, and then the grade 2, when you ride over the grade 1, you swap out 1 card from your hand to your damage, and then when you ride Ergodio, you swap out 2 cards instead of the 1, which is very, very hefty. I mean, it's just, I find it very ineffective. It's too early in the game, because by turn 3 you should start grabbing, you should start setting up your damage for grabs later game. I feel like it's too early, but that's just my personal opinion on her. So anyways, let's get back to On Point. Angel Feathers are a toolbox deck, which means, the reason they call it toolbox is because you're reaching to the toolbox and you're like, mine, and then you're like, ha ha ha, I grab what I need. They basically grab what they need, and they're a very adaptive deck. If your opponent's being aggressive, you grab those giant, 10k shields or those Norguards. Your opponent's being very defensive, you grab offensive cards like Geniel and 10k beaters, just all that jazz. Grab clutch rifles to back up your Vanguard. Then you go RAR, and there's just so many things you can do with a deck. It's ridiculous. Just the fact that they have an infinite amount of heals is already appealing to many players, but they don't really bother with the deck. They don't really bother studying it, and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna run it. Oh, this deck's bad because blah blah blah. Angel Feathers, I've said this multiple times, is a deck you cannot make too many mistakes in. They need to be used flawlessly to be most effective. And it's ridiculous, but when you learn how to use the deck, it'll be the best deck you will ever run. It's so good. Oh my god. But yeah. So anyways, to wrap it all up, they have infinite amount of heals, toolbox options, very aggressive Vanguard, and they can heal without a heal. That's pretty good. Oh, and also a great thing I didn't cover is Feather Palace, which is also a very good build, but you need to dedicate the entire deck to it. It's very solid. Basically, you can Mega Blast and heal equal to the number of Angel Feather units you have on board, except for the Vanguard. So you can heal for a total of 5, which is really good, but you have to stay offensive, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, it's a crazy deck, but you can make it work. So yeah, that's a little overview for episode 1. Next episode, I'll be talking about card choices, and episode after that, tactics. So please stay tuned. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys will enjoy this whole clan series. Peace.